It's time for the main event. Here comes the breakdown. Act 1, the setup.
Our film begins with some sexy-ass feet sticking out of a Cadillac on the side of a deserted highway. We see Nick's character, Michael, which I think might be the fastest we've ever gotten Nick Cage in one of these movies.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like opening shot. He's right there. Anyway, Michael.
Those feet dangling out of the door. Yeah.
If you're a Nick Cage fan with a foot fetish like I am, this is a great way to get into that movie. Michael struggles.
I'm hooked already.
Michael struggles to straighten out his knee before putting on some sort of a brace, and then we see him shaved using water from a cow's piss trough or something in the middle of a field.
Ugh.
It's also revealed in this shot via a tattoo that Michael was in the Marines and has the abs and broad shoulders of a Roman god. It's pretty jacked.
Yeah.
And in case you weren't fapping yet, we next see him do some one-handed push-ups on the road and then get dressed up all spiffy-like in a cowboy button-down before heading off to a job interview with Daniel Plainview at some sort of oil drilling operation in the middle of bumfuck Wyoming.
He's an oil man.
Michael is understandably upset when he's handed a job application since his buddy assured him he already had this job. And when the foreman finds out about Mike's injured leg, he quickly rejects him, leaving Michael jobless in a place with like one job per 1,000 miles. I think he said he drove like 1,800 miles to get there or something, living in his car.
From Texas.
Michael's buddy is upset that Michael told the boss about his injured leg. But we find out right away what a stand-up guy Mike is, since not telling the boss straight away about his leg wouldn't be right. Jim, Mike's buddy,
that's pretty
asks...
close. That's pretty spot on. Yeah. Cage's accent.
Yeah. It's. I wonder if it's the same accent he used for Joe when he was supposed to be from Texas, or if he got a little better in those 20-some-odd years.
Yeah, he got better down the road.
It did sound like his warm-up act for his Con Air accent, but he was from Tennessee or whatever. Jim, Mike's buddy, asks what the hell Michael is going to do now, and Michael says, I don't know, maybe I'll rob a bank.
I don't know. Maybe I'll rob a bank.
Oh, that's right. He's from Alabama and Con Air.
Yeah.
Jim offers to spot Michael a few bucks, but Michael pridefully says he'll be all right before revealing a few minutes from now that he only has like 38 cents to his name. Michael drives away, and Nick channels Jack Nicholson from 5 Easy Pieces like he did in Color Out of Space and punches the roof of the car a few times before spotting with a near-empty fuel gauge and growling to himself.
Trying to strand me, man?
Well, Michael pulls into a charming, dilapidated, Lynchian gas station. It really felt like.
Yeah.
Just needed an old guy with a radio snapping his fingers, sitting outside.
It reminded me of in the movie U-Turn, Billy Bob Thornton works at this fucking horrible gas station in the middle of Arizona somewhere. It really reminds me of that, if you've seen that movie. A shithole. Like, doesn't look like anybody actually works there.
It doesn't look
Just
like
abandoned.
it's even open. It's just, but they sell ice.
They do.
There's a sign that says they sell ice there. No one seems to work at it, and once he gets inside, he spots a stack of cash behind the counter in an open lockbox, along with a gun. He contemplates taking it, but stops himself because, like we said, he's a stand-up guy, not a stick-up guy. Then he uses his last $5 to put some gas in the car. Nowadays, you'd get like a thimble full of gas for $5. I think you can get most of a gallon. Get you about 15 miles. He tells the hearing aid sporting attendant that he's looking for work in a drilling crew, and the guy suggests he try Red Rock, which is about 50 miles down the road. And next we see him arriving in Red Rock, so apparently he can get at least 50 miles on $5 worth of gas in 1993.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I guess the reason that he has a hearing aid is to explain away why he didn't answer when Cage was like yelling at him, yelling for him.
I guess.
It was confusing. Felt like, like that scene with Anton Chigurh when in No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah.
I just live behind the place.
Yeah.
I was back there adjusting my hearing aid.
Brendo. Well, Red Rock has about 8 people living in it, so I'm sure this bustling metropolis is the perfect place to look for work. Michael pops open an old coffee can and pulls out a couple nickels before heading into a bar to do some day drinking, or to have a cup of coffee at a bar with 10 cents. I don't know.
I feel like it used to actually be like 10 cents for
Yeah, probably.
coffee.
I mean, later he orders like a whiskey and a beer, and it was like $1.50 at one of the bars. The bartender, Wayne, played by the amazing J.T. Walsh, spots Michael's Texas license plates and immediately assumes Michael's a guy named Lyle who was supposed to be there last Friday. Michael plays along when Wayne asks him if he's there for the job, since this guy is more desperate than P. Diddy's backup dancer.
God damn it. Oh, God. Here we go.
They head to a back office where Wayne drops a $5,000 stack of hundreds in front of Michael and says he'll have the other $5,000 when the job's done. It's like, what? 1,000 tanks of gas?
I feel like it's like this guy is not super sharp if he just immediately assumed anybody who pulled up at this bar with Texas license plates is this fucking person who's come to murder his wife.
It's like, funny because a lot of this is like
a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this movie is like one of those things where like this plot couldn't happen now because cell phones exist.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. This is a very pre-cell phone, pre-internet.
Yeah.
Where it's all this would be solved if you could have just placed a quick phone call. Which never mind. I'll save that for later.
Or a text of like,
I was thinking, you could have
it,
or could have a very at least have a little bit of a safety net, like ask if he's like Gerald from Texas, and when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Gerald," like, yeah, but get the fuck out of here. You're not who I'm looking for. Don't just give him the name of the guy, feed him everything.
As much as I like this movie, it relies really heavily on coincidences.
Yeah.
And like just happenstance, like he just happens to fall in front of the car of the hitman. And, stuff like that. There's a lot of that.
Wayne hands Michael a picture of Donna from Twin Peaks. Lara Flynn Boyle, a.k.a. Suzanne, which is Wayne's wife. Wayne says he'll be riding out all day, or she'll be out riding all day, so Michael can sneak into the house and make it look like a burglary gone wrong. Michael quickly realizes he's in over his head, but isn't about to walk away from $5,000, especially since there's no longer a moral quandary because this dude's trying to kill his wife or something. Yes, I don't know. I think you're still trying to like, is this guy going to do it? Try to guess, because they do all these setup shots of like he has the opportunity to do the wrong thing a bunch of times in the beginning of the movie and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Including going to check out the wife instead of just taking the $5,000 and leaving.
I know that's another thing. This movie could have ended in 5 minutes if he would have just took the cash and ran.
It's also
take
made
it and leave.
What?
Just take it and leave. I don't know. I think
he
had the moral obligation to tell her that her husband was trying to kill her,
and it kind of works out for him for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
So
until he runs over the dude in the road.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
So the movie can happen.
Yeah, exactly. But he would have been. He was super happy running out of Red Rock with $10,000. He'd already sent we'll get to it, but he'd already sent a letter and like he was in the clear. Like she knew that he was after her and he would have been scot-free. $10,000. He could have driven back to Texas
but distracted driving is a real big problem.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the PSA for that. Slow down when visibility's poor. It's made clear in this scene Wayne's at least somewhat ashamed or regrets that he's having his wife, Suzanne, killed. Cut off the Lara Flynn Boyle spigot, I guess. A little shaken up about it. Wouldn't you want access to Lara Flynn? Never mind.
Oh, my. Yeah, let's stay on target.
Well, we cut to Michael parked on a dirt road, counting the money, and we see that he has a gun and binoculars in his glove box. So did he go buy a gun and binoculars, or does he just seem to be living out of his car and happen to have those things? The gun, I guess, makes sense.
Yeah.
Binoculars is kind of weird.
He's
For
a
him to
bird
have.
watcher.
Hunting?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he was a Marine spotter or something.
Just really creepy that he would be this drifter who's like looking for work across the country, driving around with a pair of binoculars and a gun in the car.
How better to spot work? And when you're drifting, you need protection.
True.
That's true. True.
Well, Michael watches Suzanne from a distance as she looks around suspiciously while riding to a dusty old trailer in the middle of nowhere. And we see some hunky dude dressed like Cameron Poe from Con Air is waiting for her. They head inside the knock boots in the romantic confines that only a wooded panel 80s single wide trailer can provide.
Just like in Raising Arizona. I mean, that was the most romantic of settings.
This movie just felt like it was made for us because it has like all, even though it was made in '93, it just has like all these nods to all these films we've seen.
Some time passes and we see Suzanne ride back to, presumably, she and Wayne's home. Inside, she doesn't even put down her keys before saying, "Drink, I'm having one," to herself, while we see Michael creepily sitting in the pass-out chair. I mean, sitting in the corner.
In his cuck chair.
In the cuck chair. We see him helping himself to some peanuts or pecans or something before telling her that her husband wants her dead, all while holding a gun. Maybe not the best way to do
Why is he
that.
holding the gun? If he's just there to warn her, then why sit there in the corner in the dark with a gun?
I guess
Like, how does she know that she doesn't have a gun and could try to shoot him when she notices him?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Maybe she's already on to Wayne and she packs a gun with her everywhere she goes,
Right.
and then he just gets blasted in that scene.
Tearfully, she asks if this is a joke, and he says, "Afraid not. He paid me to do it," before putting the $5,000 in a house key Wayne gave him on the counter. She asks him what he plans to do, and he says, "I don't know. I hate to see an innocent woman get hurt, and that's an awful lot of money." Well, he asked if she wants some peanuts, and she offers him a drink. He says, "You seem to be taking this a lot better than I thought you would," to which she says, "Have you ever been married?" Zing! But really, who hasn't tried to kill their spouse?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Once a week.
Always on the lookout for drifters to maybe you can get in on a job to take care of it for you. "Oh, honey, I got to stay in San Francisco late tonight because there's a snowstorm or something."
Or something.
I met this hunky dude on the road, and I was thinking he could either fuck you or he could
Fix their
kill
fence.
you. I don't know. He could fix the fence for you a little bit.
Suzanne says, "I suppose I double his offer and you do something for me," which of course means she wants him to kill Wayne instead. Back in the car, we see Michael put his gun and $10,000 in the passenger seat and heads off, having played both these lunatics like a fiddle. He grabs himself some gas and then goes on the ultimate snack run at a gas station, since presumably he's been living off roadkill he found along Wyoming roads for the last week. I just want to quickly break down what he bought because it's a hilarious mismatch of stuff. Well, from what we can see, he bought some oil, 2 boxes of Wheat Thins, a bag of Fritos and Doritos, a loaf of bread, 2 sixers of beer, a big hunk bar, and a carton of cigarettes, which, with the gas, totaled up to $119.78, or in today's money, $284.40. Gas aside, can you imagine buying $300 worth of stuff at a Chevron?
Yeah.
Even the gas station attendant can't believe it.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
It's like, that's $119.
Who eats big hunks?
Just there's a Safeway. There's a grocery store right over there. You can just
It's a Ralph's, like right there, man.
So you got panties on your head?
Yeah, he's looking for Huggies too. Well, we see him in his car writing a letter to the sheriff of Red Rock explaining this whole fiasco while cutting to Wayne, calling home, and being shocked to find out that his wife is still alive. He just hangs up on her. Like, way to be super suspicious.
Oh, wrong number.
She answers, "Oh."
Couldn't have just been like, "Hey, honey, I'm just seeing how writing went today."
Yeah. Which would also give him an alibi if he, for whatever reason, this hit still hadn't gone off. He could have been like, the phone records would show that he called home and was like, hey, I'm still working late or something.
Yeah.
Michael pops the letter in the mailbox and prepares to blow Red Rock for good with $10,000 in his pocket. But wouldn't you know it, a storm starts as he's happily driving away, causing Michael to accidentally plow into a guy who was broken down alongside the road.
That's the film I wanted to see. Nicolas Cage.
I just slipped. Sweat.
Oh, God. Sorry.
Michael contemplates driving off, but once again his good nature won't let him, so he stashes his money in the glove box and takes the guy to a hospital. As luck would have it, though, this guy just so happens to be the ranch hand hunk that Suzanne was banging 2 scenes ago.
See, it's a lot of coincidences.
Yeah. At the hospital, Michael tries to bolt, but of course he's being watched since he admitted to hitting this guy with his car. When he finally gets a chance to run, he's stopped by a doctor and a couple sheriff's deputies, one with floppy 90s hair and a guy who looks like he spends his weekends cucking it up while watching his wife in the corner.
He definitely has a crocodile outfit.
I don't know what it was about that guy's look and mustache and the toothpick in his mouth in every scene. It just seemed like you'd be like, yeah, fuck her. Yeah.
It's okay. She's my cousin. Get in there. We like to keep it in the family, boy.
Michael asks if there's a problem, and they explain that the guy he hit with his car had 2 bullets in his stomach. They're dealing with an attempted murder. Sheriff pulls up, and wouldn't you fucking know it, Wayne is not only the owner of the finest dive bar in town, but he's also the sheriff of Red Rock County.
Womp womp.
Wah, wah.
Michael is understandably shocked when he sees Wayne, and Wayne is shocked to find out the guy he thought was Lyle from Dallas is actually Michael Williams from the Cadillac outside. So, since that's where he lives. One of the deputies asks why Wayne wants to hold Michael, since makes no sense that he'd shoot a guy and then bring him into the hospital. But Wayne insists they impound Michael's car while Wayne takes him down to the station. Wayne handcuffs Michael to the passenger door of his sheriff's Bronco and on the road asks him what the hell's going on. Michael admits to pretending he was Lyle to get a job, not knowing what he was getting into, and promises to give back the money and leave town. But Wayne decides that's not good enough and careens his Bronco through a fence and down a hill.
Just like
what
OJ.
was the
I think he was trying to make it look like it was an escape attempt.
Yeah, there was a struggle. Yeah, that's what I took it.
He puts the key on the handcuffs, key to the handcuffs on the dash, which again I don't know why he. I mean, I guess to get him to reach for it.
Yeah,
while he was reaching.
He reached for the key and tried to get out.
Yeah, and when Michael goes to unlock him, Wayne reaches for his gun. Michael kicks Wayne in the face and jumps out of the car, still handcuffed to the door. Wayne tries to shoot Michael, but manages to get the cuffs unlocked just in time to kick the door closed, knocking the gun out of Wayne's hands. Michael takes the gun and hoofs it while Wayne gives chase with a rifle, and they shoot at each other a few times before Michael takes off through the woods, but his bum knee gives out and he has to hop for a bit. Wayne shoots at Michael again, causing Michael to duck down and fall down a hill, losing the gun in the process. And the alligator comes out and grabs Wayne, death rolls him. Now, Michael rolls down the hill and lands directly in front of a car on the road down below that just so happens to be owned by, wouldn't you fucking know it, Lyle from Dallas, who almost splatters Michael's head in his grill, but manages to stop just in the nick of time.
Act 2. It's about time we had some conflict, wouldn't you say?
Lyle from Dallas, played by the incredible Dennis Hopper, greets the guy he almost turned into hamburger by saying,
"What the fuck are you doing?"
Michael, wide-eyed, stares at the bumper, then says his car broke down and asks Lyle for a ride. You guys wouldn't believe this, but it turns out Lyle is already headed to Red Rock to a place called Wayne's Bar. I think that's the name of the bar, right?
What a coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick fact. John Dahl named Dennis Hopper's character Lyle from Dallas after the director's first guitar, a Lyle guitar. It's kind of similar how the Nigel named his first son Obi-Wan Luke Kobe after his 2 favorite Star Wars characters and his all-time favorite NBA player.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Obi-Wan Kobe.
God, there are probably a decent number of children whose middle name is Kobe
Yeah.
now.
There's a player who's playing in the NBA right now who's actually named Kobe. I don't know if it was inspired by, because Kobe's name was inspired by Kobe steak.
Really?
Literally where it
The
came
beef?
from. Yep.
Wow. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
Oh my God. Which
That's
is funny because he
hilarious.
turned up in ground beef
Oh,
at the end.
my God.
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn.
I've seen those autopsy illustrations.
Fucking A.
Anyway,
All right, moving on.
up on the ridge, Wayne finds his pistol and sees Michael get a ride from someone and figures he's long gone since he has no idea what Lyle from Dallas looks like. In the car, Lyle asks Michael how he banged up his knee, and it turns out they both served in the Marines. Michael injured his knee in some famous truck bombing accident. I think it was supposed to be the barracks, the Marine barracks bombing in Lebanon back in the 80s. I think is what he was
Yeah,
saying.
I think so. Yeah.
Involved a guy named Benir.
I'm sorry, what was that, Michael? You like this band 9 Inch Nails? Anyway, all the Marine jerking back and forth leads Lyle to insist to buy Michael a beer. Michael quickly realizes where they're headed, and Michael tries his best to talk Lyle out of it, but eventually he relents to peer pressure and decides to head to his death. Or I mean, into the bar run by the guy that's, trying to kill him. Yeah, that was a weird scene. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it's like there should be no implication of danger between Michael and Lyle, yet there's like that tension. And we as the audience assume it's the assassin because they showed the plates.
Yeah.
News Texas. I think it's just you never know what's going to happen in the movie, and there's basically constant tension being ratcheted up.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things I liked about it. That's why I felt like pacing was great, because it always felt like some twist was coming, and you never knew how things were going to get worse, but they always get worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's like
did
I wouldn't want to be trapped in a car with Dennis Hopper.
I think that's where the real
100%.
tension came from.
Yeah,
Young Nick
But he
was like,
also
"Fuck."
almost ran him over like 2
True.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
right.
Michael and Lyle share a couple shots of whiskey because they're real men. And when Lyle asks where Wayne is, Michael looks shocked and decides to head to the bathroom to rub one out real quick. Well, no, he goes there to think things over, but not before Dennis Hopper delivers a very Dennis Hopper line.
Yeah, well, don't piss on the seat, even if they did. It's not lucky.
I was like, what? I don't think that was in the script, but okay.
I don't think so either.
No.
That's-
I don't
that
think a lot of
feels-
what he says is
Yeah.
was
It's
scripted.
very Dennis Hopper.
Yes, it does.
I wish he would have said, I got to go make a number 2. It's, what was it? I just ate it. Ordering a number 3
Order
because I got to
number
go
one.
make a number 2. Michael would have said that. It would have been amazing.
I'm telling you, this movie just like my brain was firing off with references to all these other Cage movies, and I'm like, this is so weird because this movie is shot or came out in 93, 94. Yeah, we could tie it
It's
back to
weird
all these
watching
films.
them in the weird order that we just randomly watch
I
movies
know.
in, because
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like this wouldn't happen as much maybe if it was chronological until they got to the later movies, but because we're just watching them all
Well, when he's
in a random order, there's definitely some weird parallels.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when he's sitting in the office with Wayne and he's asking him to kill his wife, I just kept thinking, put it on the rack. Anyways,
This was, I think this was very shortly before leaving Las Vegas. So this was kind of like right before he really took off. It was kind of like, he had been kind of the indie darling of like Raising Arizona, Moonstruck, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then right after this, he did the Leaving Las Vegas, which kind of pushed him into the mainstream.
in the bathroom, Michael kicks a garbage can and busts a light in frustration, then checks outside the door, only to find Wayne talking to Lyle at the bar. Michael finds a window in the bathroom and climbs out seconds before Lyle and Wayne bust in with guns. They head outside to look for him, but we dolly up to see Michael is on the roof of the bar. He spots a truck and decides to tightrope walk to it using a 2x4. And apparently the driver had enough guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music at the Red Rock Bar, and he hops into the cab without noticing a 6'2" guy on top of his freaking roof. I also love that shot of
it's like 2 feet above their heads.
Yeah.
They don't notice shit.
Yeah, and then there's like the shot of Wayne standing in front of the bar, which looks totally fake, and you just see Nick walk out.
And he's like,
he looks every direction but behind.
Yeah, just looking side to side like a Terminator. It's kind of cartoonish.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, those guys were wearing hats. So,
true. Everybody knows you can't look up.
You can't see anything in your peripheral vision. It's just blocked.
Michael manages to get on top of the truck just before Lyle could find him on the roof of the bar. Down the road, Michael knocks on the driver's window, causing him to slam on his brakes and yell, "You're about 1,000 miles from nowhere, boy." Sorry, I guess we probably don't have many Dwight Yoakam fans in our audience.
That somewhat obscure country singer from the 1980s. You're 1,000 miles from nowhere. I always hated him as a kid because he sounded like Kermit the Frog singing. And since I've come to actually really like him, I don't know why. It's like when I was a kid, I hated Dwight Yoakam, but now I actually really like him.
Actually, he pulls a gun on a lunatic hanging off his roof. And when he puts it in Michael's face, he says, "Does that tickle? Because it won't if I pull the trigger." Something I said to my wife on our honeymoon. Michael tells the guy he was trying to ditch his old lady since she caught him at the bar, and the guy doesn't buy his bullshit. Quick fact, Dwight Yoakam brought his own pistol for his role as a truck driver. His hit single, 1,000 Miles from Nowhere, is used during the film's closing credits.
Of course he brought his own.
My daughter really liked that song during the credits.
Did she really?
I stopped the movie, and then she made me put it back on because she was dancing to it. So
it's a good song.
It's a hit with 3-year-olds.
He cocks the gun and tells Michael to get off the truck, then offers Michael a ride since he can tell Michael is desperate, and he'll take what he can get, lot lizard wise. I mean, who knows? Maybe they both discover a crazy little thing called love.
Crazy little thing called love. Dwight Yoakam. That's all you got to do is just put on a Kermit, sing a song.
It ain't easy being green. That's my favorite Dwight Yoakam song.
It ain't easy being green.
Oh, God. Michael asks if the driver can drop him off at Suzanne's ranch since he has a little business to take care of. And the driver asks him if she's pretty. It's kind of a weird 2 minutes these characters share.
It really is. It's like get the fuck off the truck or I'll kill you. And then it's, well, is she pretty? I guess he could just sense that he was lying about something that was important, and then suddenly they're best friends, and I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Just the way of the trucker, man. They're super forgiving.
That's right. I saw that episode of Always Sunny. Tom Sizemore. Want you guys to split me open like a coconut.
Oh, God damn it. Well, Michael then breaks into the ranch where he finds Suzanne packing a bag. He scares the shit out of her again by busting through her porch door like the Kool-Aid man screaming, "Oh, yeah!" Not just joking. But he does scare the shit out of her.
He does.
I think it's mainly
she plays that really well of both times. Just like suddenly terrified with tears in her eyes. What the fuck are you doing?
You're back again. He comes clean that he's not who she thinks he is and warns her that the actual killer just rolled into town. She tells him he's full of shit and to leave. Then Nick goes full Cage and says, "You're not listening to me. Your friend, the ranch hand, he's been shot." I can't do it justice, but god damn, it did ramp up real quick.
Yeah, it was just like, whoa, okay.
Whoa. There's a couple of those moments.
That's the thing he comes unhinged about?
Yeah, exactly.
Your friend, the ranch hand, he's been shot!
She asks what happened and if they know who shot him, to which Michael assumes it was her husband. I mean, duh. Suddenly, Lyle pulls into the driveway, which it's funny how they both can clearly hear a car pull up, but she couldn't hear him knocking on the freaking door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, what kind of hitman just drives right up to the front of the house?
An efficient one.
Yeah, why not? Just pull right up.
Nothing bad ever happens. You drive into somebody's house in the middle of nowhere out in Wyoming.
Fucking
They're not
down
liable to shoot you or something.
Yeah.
a private dirt road in the middle of hundreds of acres of someone else's land, probably.
Yeah.
Who's your husband? Whose husband is the sheriff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lyle strolls in the house sporting murder gloves and a gun, while Michael picks up that horse lighter thing from Wild at Heart, I think that's what it was. Or some sort of heavy statue.
There's another one in his office, too.
I know.
Right?
There's
it's
like
the same thing.
Yeah, it was weird because they like really focus on it when
Everyone
they do
just
that
has
time
like
shift.
brass horse statues in the West, I guess.
Yes. I don't know. It must have been a thing back in the day, apparently.
Was in Wild at Heart? Was it? It was a clock too, right?
I think so.
sure
It was
it
like
was
a
a
desk clock.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
Is it just a very popular thing? It's like that
Kind
painting
of makes
that
sense in Wild
everybody
at Heart.
had
It
of
feels like
kids.
something David Lynch would see and be like,
Yeah.
I got to put that. That's weird. I got to have that in the movie. Put it center of the frame.
Well, it makes sense as a David Lynch thing,
Yeah.
but then why
That's
did
what I
they
mean.
use it in Red
I
Rock
guess that
West
maybe they're
twice?
just common things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or a nod. I don't know. Like we
Delightful
said,
little
this film does
Americana.
feel a little Lynch-esque, so maybe it was a nod to them. Nod to
I
him.
could see John Dahl being a Lynch fan.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an homage.
Michael then turns the water to the tub on and waits for Lyle to come upstairs, where Michael chucks the statue at Lyle's head and then punches him out. That scene was like super aggressive. I was like, "Whoa, okay!" He just chucks it at his head. He's quick though, man. I give him credit. He closed that gap real quick, then beat the hell out of the guy.
You want to take chances with Dennis Hopper, man.
no.
He's wily.
Never hesitate.
You must never hesitate.
I wonder if Suzanne was the prom queen.
Probably.
Laura Flynn Boyle seems like she would have been the prom queen at some point.
Yeah. Suzanne strolls in and asks what she should do, and Michael says, "If I was you, I'd get a divorce."
Zing.
These one-liners are great. Meanwhile, nobody turns off the water to the tub, so I think it's fair to say that those beautiful ranch-style wood floors are about to be ruined. Patrick, I hope for your sake your Airbnb guests don't treat your place the same way. They treat it with a little more respect because you got some beautiful
If they did, I'd throw a fucking horse clock at their head.
Michael takes Lyle's gun and decides to steal his car, but of course there are no keys in it since why would there be? Like, nobody leaves their fucking keys in the car. Not even assassins.
He just pulls up in front of the house with the windows open, keys in the car, then comes in, kills her, just jets out.
Yeah.
You know?
I did appreciate things like that. Like, okay, maybe in a sloppier movie, the keys would be in there, so he has a quick way to get out. I did appreciate that they didn't do those stupid tropes that tend to happen, especially with the cops. I was so happy to see that the deputies were not babbling idiots. They were actually putting things together.
Yeah.
Pretty much from the jump, like as
Yeah.
soon as Wayne is like, we need to impound his car
Yes,
and take
we
him
need
into
to impound
custody.
his car.
They're like,
I'll take him down to the station.
What?
Why?
Yeah.
okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Suzanne comes out with a different set of keys and says they belong to a Jeep behind the barn. Michael rips some nondescript wires out of Lyle's engine. I'm guessing he was taking out like spark plugs or
Yeah, it looked like the starter or something,
Yeah,
some
I
vital
think so.
piece.
something along those lines. And chucks them into the bushes before climbing into the Jeep, which of course barely has any gas, which prompts him to say,
Fucking story of my life.
Yeah, so like, was Lyle just going to be stranded at the house?
I think
Oh, no, the
so.
Jeep. Sorry. Yeah,
He
sorry,
does
that-
fix the car, so you got to give him credit. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
mechanic on the go.
he's also he probably's like, hey, fuck, there's the caps for my for my spark plugs. So I'll just like
Yeah, you
reattach
just set him off
that.
to the side.
I think he
5
like
feet from
threw
my
them in the
fucking car.
bushes, like just next to the car. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean, but like,
probably found him.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, anyways, we'll save that for later. Suzanne hops in dressed like a Dick Tracy villain. or something. And head to the nearest town that isn't Red Rock.
Yeah, what the hell is she wearing?
I don't know. I thought the same thing.
Like something from Spirit
so
Halloween or
great.
something.
Also, she gets dressed on the balcony. Did you notice that? Because she goes out in her like
Yeah.
90, and then she comes back in and she
leaves her on the balcony.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay. I don't remember her grabbing clothes, but maybe she did. I don't know.
She was like packing
Yeah.
when he came in, so maybe she just
took her
grabbed
bag
an
out.
outfit.
Maybe she just grabbed some stuff, but yeah. Anyways, Margot asks if there's a sheriff in town, and Suzanne talks him out of going to the police since he impersonated a hired killer and took $10,000 or $10,000 from her and her husband. I kind of feel like it doesn't really seem like it'd be that hard to explain, honestly, but as we soon find out, Suzanne has some alternative motives.
Ulterior.
Or
I guess
ulterior. What did I say?
alternative works, but
ulterior, some ulterior motives. Yeah, same thing. Tomato. Fish, fox.
she has some alternative music theories.
Well, she looks
Really
like she
big in
into alternative
1993.
music. She suggests that they get as far away from Red Rock as possible because that'll work way better. At the impound lot, the sheriff deputies are searching Michael's car and pulling his registration info. Wayne drops in to say the son of a bitch got away, and the deputies start to get a little suspicious of their boss when they spot $10,000 and a gun in Michael's glove box. I also like how Wayne's like, yeah, he kicked my arm. I was like,
That explains it. Okay.
yeah. Fucking guy. Over at a gas station, Michael fills up the Jeep, then buys a couple boxes of Wheat Thins, a big hunk bar, a couple more cases of Bud, and a loaf of bread. No, wait. He says he's broke and only has about $80 in his wallet. Suzanne asks for the money so she can pay for the gas, which he reluctantly gives her since it's clear he doesn't fully trust her. She helps herself to every cent before heading into a bar. He joins her and says they should probably get going, but she says, "Drink? I'm having one." We got to fit that in everywhere we can because it's hilarious. Nah, she actually says that they should relax and have a drink. Why not make a night of it? Suzanne turns on the charm and decides she wants this weirdo drifter she hardly knows to rattle her cage for a while. Get it? Michael isn't falling for his shit, but you could tell he's wondering what we all wondered back then. What it'd be like to have one night with Donna Hayward from Twin Peaks.
I know I wondered back then. Still do. Even
she's
old,
old now.
weird, clown-looking Laura Flynn Boyle.
Suzanne says they should go to Mexico together since she loves tequila. Okay, why not? But again, he's not into it and asks why Wayne wanted her dead. Suzanne says her parents died in an accident, so she inherited a very large insurance claim, and Wayne wants her dead so he can keep all of it, since if they get a divorce, he'll be left with nothing.
They pulled all of his information at the police station, and presumably he'd be wanted after this because he resisted arrest and assaulted a police officer. So wouldn't he be busted as soon as they got to the Mexican border? Even in 1993, I feel like
have taught me anything. No, not just joking. I don't know because I don't think they would have been able to get that information out
Fast enough.
Plus, they ask him, "Hey, do you want us to put a bolo out?" And he says, "No."
That's true.
So they're not passing along that information. So I guess they actually do explain why he wouldn't get caught if he tried to cross into Mexico. Plus, do you think Mexican border security is really going to stop white people from coming in? No. They need
And I don't think Wayne wanted to put the call out because then if they catch him, then he could just be like, "Yeah, well, this guy paid me to kill his wife," and then it's all over for him. So
yeah. And he's wanted by the FBI. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So
He's wanted by the old timey FBI too, based off of that wanted poster that we see.
pull it right out of
He's
the
wanted by
saloon
the
wall.
Pinkertons.
The Hatfields are out to get him.
U.S. Marshals are rolling through town looking for a couple of embezzlers from Chicago.
Shot town.
Oh fuck!
I thought you meant old timey as in like Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude,
oh,
like 90s
1993 FBI.
That'd be great too, actually.
Mulder and Scully arrive. Heard there were some aliens out here near Devil's Tower,
We heard
Wyoming.
you thought you were alien when you were a child, Michael. Yeah, I just never fit in. Anyways,
But I can remember when I was in the womb. I don't know if you saw that one. He says he can remember moments from the womb, but he thinks he's a space alien.
right.
Hey, maybe he thinks he was the Star Child from 2001 Space Odyssey. His womb was
From
out in
Kiss?
space.
Yeah. I guess that fits. That works.
Okay, we briefly cut to Wayne nervously smoking in his office at the bar, where he gets a call from Lyle, who says he'll track down Suzanne, but it's going to cost Wayne more money. Wayne says he'll give Lyle the money and tells him to meet him at 9:30 the next morning at the bar. Back at the bar, a different bar, not Wayne's bar, but a bar that's not in Red Rocks, but close.
It's
Right.
near a
Anyways.
truck stop area with like
Right.
3 different gas stations.
Yeah.
And Dwight Yoakam.
Anyway, Yoakum.
Anyways, Michael and Suzanne stumble out like they just drank champagne at Puff Daddy's house. And Suzanne again asks if Michael wants to go with her to Mexico. He says they should get a cup of coffee. He says they should get a cup of coffee first, but Suzanne says she has a better idea, and she nods her head towards Comfort Inn. The pinnacle
Damn
of
fine
romance.
cup of coffee. Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Yeah. There. Twin Peaks reference. Nice.
Oh, shit. We see Mike get some ice, and in the room, he pours the two of them a drink from a brand new bottle of whiskey. Wait. So you tell me he bought a full tank of gas, paid enough for drinks for them to get plastered at the bar, a motel room, and a bottle of whiskey for $80? God damn. Inflation's a real son of a bitch. I can't even get
$80 for how much was the room? Like $20. It's a Comfort Inn, so
Yeah. So it's a budget motel. So I mean, even back then you're probably looking about $20, I would imagine, per night.
God,
Well, they're in Wyoming, so God, who knows? Maybe $5 a night.
it's $12.
So,
Maybe they only got it for the hour or two.
They just got it for the evening. Lot
Lover's
Lizard price.
package. Lot Lizard rate.
Yeah, it's right by those truck stops, so it's probably one of those hourly hotels. So.
Suzanne puts the moves on Michael again, and you could tell he's reluctant since she's married, and he's a stand-up guy. But like I said, it's Donna Hayward from Twin Peaks. She introduces herself to Nikki Coppola. She introduces herself to little Nikki Coppola, but unfortunately, we fade to black before the fun starts. Before the fun begins.
I'm gonna have the awkward sex scene from Deadfall, but
sure.
Cage and Laura Flynn Boyle.
It's just Cage laying on top of her, missionary, his pale ass gleaming in the light. It's a missed opportunity. I feel like this movie would have got a wider release if that scene had been in there.
True.
At least the director knows how to show some class. Cut away when it's appropriate. Not subject us all to things like that.
Once we're done watching her lick him from chin through his chest hair down to little Nicky, they cut away to black. During pillow talk, Susan convinces Michael he should take her to Mexico. The next morning, Susan tells him they're going to need money to get to Mexico, and he says, "We're going to Mexico?" Since I guess it was the whiskey talking when he agreed to go.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go to Mexico. Whatever. Go to sleep. And then the next scene, we're going to Mexico. What the fuck are you talking about?
She tells him Wayne always keeps cash in a safe in his office, so they should head back to Red Rock and steal it. He thinks she's crazy, but I guess their one night of raucous whiskey dick lovemaking at the Comfort Inn was enough for him to fall for her, enough to risk his life or possibly go to prison. So they decide to head back to Red Rock.
Act 3. Time to resolve some shit.
Suzanne and Michael sneak into Wayne's office, no sweat, where Suzanne struggles to open a floor safe, but Michael is able to open it right away because he's a man, and that's how movies work for some reason. She's like, you try it.
I thought they were going to have to drill into it all night.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be like she's framing him for something. Get his fingerprints on it.
Yeah, I thought so
sort
too,
of
yeah.
go anywhere.
It's a good idea. Maybe it was something that was left on the cutting room floor. She is really just setting him up from the very beginning. Like she turns on the charm just to make sure that he goes back and helps her get the money. Once she finds out that he has no money, because she was just going to steal, I think, the $10,000 that she gave him and head off to Mexico by herself. And she finds out he only has $80. She's like, oh, well, take your dick out.
That's true. Yeah.
Inside, they only find about $20,000. And Suzanne is pissed. I'm just assuming because they were like $5,000 stacks. There were four of them.
There were four of them. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And Suzanne is pissed since there was supposed to be significantly more than that, as we soon find out. Suddenly, Wayne pulls up behind the bar, so Michael and Suzanne carefully close the safe, cover it with the rug, move the desk back over it, while leaving all of the papers from inside the safe all over the frickin' floor.
That's so stupid.
Why not put the papers back in the safe, then close it?
Or just take them with you into the closet.
Yeah. Which, rather than like leave, Michael and Suzanne hide in a closet for some reason. It's like there was plenty of time and opportunity to get out and go somewhere else, but no, they just hop in the closet for the guy who's trying to kill both of them now.
Yeah.
Wayne notices the papers all over the floor. And then Michael cocks his gun as Wayne walks towards the closet door, but suddenly there's a knock on the door, and Wayne's deputies stroll in, which Wayne seems pretty shocked to see them. It's like, why would they be paying him a visit? The floppy-haired main deputy, they have names, but it's like that 90s haircut that everybody had back then. It's like that floppy, like something from the kids in Home Improvement. They had those kinds of like haircuts at the time.
You can say it, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Always got to work him in there somewhere.
And his haircut.
The floppy-haired deputy says the ranch hand is in critical condition, but is expected to make it. We cut and we see Suzanne is conflicted when she hears that news, but then we cut back to reveal that the deputy handed Wayne a wanted poster with he and Suzanne's picture on it. Which, the deputies...
Like, where do they even get it? Like,
I don't know. Like,
it was hanging outside the saloon.
It wasn't like
this
faxed
tied up
over
at the
or anything.
saloon.
Yeah.
It was tacked up outside his office door.
Yeah, the whole time. The deputy says he called the FBI since it seems Wayne, a.k.a. Kevin, and Suzanne, a.k.a. Ann, stole $1.9 million. The deputy also hands Wayne the letter Michael sent the night before, so it's safe to say Wayne is boned worse than an aspiring rapper at Diddy's house.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Struggling to take dick. Well, all this is going on, Michael gives Suzanne a disgusted look, and she again tries to use her sexiness to distract him. She starts grabbing on him a little bit. The deputy asks Wayne if he paid someone to kill Suzanne and if he shot Kurt the ranch hand, but Wayne plays dumb and asks to see his lawyer. The deputies take Wayne away, allowing Michael and Suzanne to come out of the closet, where Michael reads the wanted poster. It says Kevin and Ann McCord stole $1.9 million from a steel mill in Illinois and is weathered like it was a wanted poster from the Old West hanging in a saloon for some reason. Where the fuck did they get this thing?
Yeah, you'd think presumably it would be faxed over from Illinois or something. Fax paper looks a lot different than
it's like crumpled yellow
poster paper.
weathered poster paper.
Yeah.
Was it at the sheriff's office, like on the wall?
Yeah, and they just noticed, like, hey, wait a minute, give me that, put that over here.
She says it was all Wayne's idea, and she's innocent since he drug her into it, but Michael's not buying it. She says there was supposed to be $500,000 in the safe, so Wayne must have hid it somewhere else. Then she says they can still be together and go to Mexico, which prompts Cage to deliver one of the greatest line reads of his career.
Fuck Mexico!
I love that so much. Just turns around. Fuck Mexico. I think, like, Cage is sort of like almost Christopher Walken-esque with the emphasis on certain things. Like, he's been shot, like that thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like he doesn't know exactly where to emphasize things.
Yeah.
Fuck Mexico.
You guys seen Dune Part 2 yet?
No,
I haven't
I haven't
yet.
made it past the popcorn bucket.
Oh, God, it's great, but there's a part when Walken goes, "What deeb?" But then he says it. It's like the only actual like Walken-ism in the whole movie. It's fucking hilarious. It's not in a funny scene or anything. He just says it like I can't even do it because I can't do Walken.
What deeb?
Yeah, it's almost exactly like that.
That's awesome.
What deeb?
Oh my God. What deeb?
It's worth the price of an IMAX ticket just to see Walken say "What deeb."
I'm so glad that he was cast in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's that great at it, but like, it could have been anybody. But I'm just happy it was Walken.
I feel like
just for that
Walken
one
is
line.
semi-retired and just kind of like coming out for things that he thinks would be fun.
Yeah.
Because he's getting
What
up
deep?
there.
Yeah, he's
What deep? Because he didn't whisper it. What deep?
No, he just said, that's great. See if I can find the clip.
The spice. Suzanne begs him to stay with her, so he strokes her face like Sean Archer in Face Off, and then heads out the door just in time to be punched in the face by Lyle from Dallas. It's kind of like, yeah, it was Sean Archer-esque.
That's fucking hilarious.
Lyle knocks Michael out, and we see time pass on another horse clock for some reason. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are there so many of these goddamn horse clocks? Is this just like like that painting that everybody had in their houses of like the kids that everybody attributes to being cursed and burning down houses? I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Back then, it was the horse clocks in late 80s, early 90s. Michael wakes up to see Lyle holding a gun on him. And when he comes to, Lyle holds up the wanted poster, and Lyle says Suzanne told him Wayne was a bookkeeper at this steel mill in Illinois and stole $2 million, but still has $500,000 hidden somewhere. Lyle suggests they go pay Wayner a visit at the police station. He calls him Wayner a bunch.
Jarring transition.
Let's go see what Wayner has to say. But first, Lyle pulls off the road to go burn down some old abandoned house, so the cops and the fire department have to respond to the fire. And it's a small town, so basically those two deputies of the entire police force.
Yep. Yeah, they had to get some random woman to man the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's like two streets. Red Rock.
Yeah.
Which is still like, why would he go there to look for work? Yeah, there's plenty of work over in this tiny fucking two road town.
Maybe because there's always shit like this going on. If you got no scruples, you can find a job.
Yeah. Work for that plant that Dwight Yoakam works at or whatever. While Lyle is burning down the house, Suzanne apologizes to Michael, prompting him to say,
"What do you say we put a cap on the horse shit?"
Very cagey delivery on that one, too. There's not a ton of cagey moments in this movie. I feel like he's pretty subdued, but like the 3 or 4 that there are pretty fucking cagey. The two of them make a plan to loosen up the cords that Lyle wrapped around their wrists and start twitching like two tweakers outside of a Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Cord's so tight, my hands are going numb.
Just keep moving them.
Trying to undo the things. You've seen that Waffle House. Yeah. It's the entertainment while you're eating the horrible food that somebody flicked their cigarette into. No Waffle House fans in the audience.
They're ashing on your ash browns.
Fucking guy cooking your food's got sweat beating up on his nose and dripping onto your waffle.
We're out of salt.
That's just seasoning. Yeah.
Hold on, I got you.
Suzanne says there's a pocket knife on the keys to the Jeep, which Michael has in his back pocket. He gets to work cutting his restraint, which takes him like 5 seconds and takes her like 4 hours to fucking cut hers.
Yeah.
Again, she's a woman in a movie. That's how
Can't
they
open a
make
safe.
them look. Can't open a safe. Can't cut her fucking cord off.
Yeah.
Can't kill a man.
Can't kill several men.
Can't climb on a train.
The cops are alerted to the fire, and once Lyle sees the floppy-haired deputy drive by, he heads to the station to get Wayne. Lyle just strolls in the front door, walks up to the cop, calling in volunteer firefighters to fight this fire, and puts one right between the dude's eyes. just that easy. No cameras, no nothing. 90s.
Yeah. Again, this plot doesn't work in today,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
works back then.
Wayne yells out in terror, and Lyle takes his sweet time chatting with Wayne while eating the guy's sandwich.
Hey, man, it's turkey.
This is turkey.
This is
my
his favorite.
favorite.
Again, I feel like that was he comes back from lunch. He grabs that from craft services on his way back from lunch.
I'm still going to eat my sandwich, all right? We're just going to do the scene.
I don't care if we're filming.
He's like, roll cameras, I'll make it work.
It's weird. Like there's this look that Hopper gives in that scene where it's like he almost regrets having just shot the guy in the head, but he's super happy to have the turkey sandwich. It's weird. It's like I thought we were supposed to be setting up that he's like a very remorseless killer and like doesn't care that he just popped this guy in the head. But then he gives
Maybe
this kind
he's
of
just
look.
regretting that it causes complications and he doesn't like loose ends, and leaving a dead sheriff in the police station is a pretty big loose end.
Yeah. Lyle asks Wayne where the money is and that he'll let him go if he gives him half of the $500,000 that's left. Wayne quickly agrees, and then we cut to the sheriff's deputy getting suspicious that they were lured away from the station with the fire for a reason. So these cops are not idiots. Like you said, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Usually
I like
they
that.
like dumb them down because they're deputies or something. See, like, First Blood. Like every fucking deputy is a moron in that movie. Mm-hmm. The floppy-haired deputy tells Cuckboy that he's heading back to the station. We cut to Lyle forcing Wayne to put on handcuffs. In the car, Michael undoes his restraint with the pocket knife, jumps out of the car to get Suzanne, but he is stopped in the act by Lyle, because of course he is. Michael then sheepishly puts Suzanne back in the car, but hands her the pocket knife and tells her to take Wayne and he'll take Lyle, which doesn't really come back into play after this. Lyle tells Michael to drive, and as they cruise by the police station, the floppy-haired deputy pulls in and finds his buddy dead on the floor. Suddenly, we see a train coming, so Lyle puts the accelerator down to the floor, forcing Michael to drive right at it. The train is too fast, so Michael has to drive alongside of it for a bit before getting ahead of it while Lyle screams and laughs in his ear because he's a madman, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
It's the most conspicuous thing you could possibly do. They have no idea what the car looks like. They have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
Just fucking gun it towards the train. Michael barely makes it in front of the train, but the deputy sees the car squealing its tires from a distance, and he's able to make out that it's a black Buick. Like, nothing like making yourself as conspicuous as
yeah,
possible.
exactly. Plus, now you have a bunch of bystanders that watch you jump the track.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would assume, like, because there's like a truck driver parked at the light that the car drives over. I would assume that the truck driver would have probably looked at the plate, and then they could have just asked him. And then,
yeah, that's how I assume he found he got the description of the vehicles by talking to the people that were watching.
I don't think he saw it happen. He just saw the commotion. Of all the
he saw the commotion,
yelling.
And then like they're all talking.
Again, he put it together because he's a good cop.
Yeah. So he went over and got the information from them because they're all talking about it. Like, oh, that was crazy. What happened? He's like, oh, this guy just jumped over the track. He's like, what an asshole.
This guy who played the floppy-haired cop was in a lot of stuff in the 90s, too. I remember seeing him in a lot of things like TV shows and stuff. On the road, Lyle taunts his hostages and chugs scotch for some reason before asking Wayne how he became sheriff. And then he says it turns out he was elected by buying every voter in the county a drink, which I guess means because he has the bar. Like he just
gave everybody a free drink night or something.
Everybody who came over was like, oh, I'm running for sheriff. I guess. I don't know.
It's kind of how I figured it. He bought the bar first and then used that as a way to just buy off the population to elect him sheriff.
Yeah.
Which also seems like a weird thing to do if you're on the run from the FBI, but, whatever. Yeah.
Why run? I mean, I guess.
Why make yourself as conspicuous and a public figure?
I mean, maybe to, like, throw off the scent. Like, anytime red flags would come up, you would be like, oh, I thought I saw them over in this county. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Lyle turns his attention to Michael and says he knew a guy like him once that thought he was better than everybody else. And Michael says,
why don't you just blow me?
Pay good money to see that. Then Lyle puts the gun to Michael's head, calls him a cowboy a couple times, and then shoots out the driver's side window. And then he giggles, telling Mike to choose life, because he's from Texas.
God damn it.
That was like a weirdly overly aggressive. I mean, if this guy's like a hired hitman who is like really good at killing people, you'd think he'd be more level-headed than this. This seems kind of crazy. Like he's chugging scotch. He's the only one who's like, drunk in this group. Mm-hmm. They could all
it could
get
be
the
that he's
better
just
of
not
him.
that great of a hitman. It's all
maybe.
that Wayne, because Wayne doesn't really vet him all that well. So
true.
He just was like, had
He
some
was
connection,
also
send him a hitman, and that's what he was going to get.
He was a week late to coming to the fucking hit job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. It's all explained now.
Definitely feels like a David Lynch character.
Yeah,
in this movie.
Totally. Maybe it's just because we've seen Dennis Hopper play a Lynch character, but like it really feels like a David Lynch character. Yeah, that's funny. Surprised he wasn't a member of some like big giant organized crime syndicate of some sort, some nameless crime syndicate.
Yeah,
Mr. Reindeer.
Working for Mr. Reindeer.
We quickly cut to the deputies heading out in search of a black Buick with Texas plates, and then them enlisting the help of some random town people to run the radios while their buddy's body just goes into rigor mortis on the floor next to her or something.
Yeah, they don't show the body, so it was like they just looking at like the blood stain on the floor or something. I don't know,
Yeah, maybe.
There's a shot when she radios. I think when she radios him, you do see the body behind her covered in a blanket.
Oh, all right.
So he's just laying there.
I guess they know enough to not disturb the crime scene, maybe.
I guess.
Maybe. Well, he does say
gets there from like 4 counties over.
I think he does say that the coroner is on the way to pick up the body or something.
It takes a while.
I don't know. It's a little really weird. It starts twitching like in The Rock. Is that normal? I just work at the craft store down the street. I can't handle this. We see Michael and the gang pull into a cemetery in the dark after sneakily passing a caretaker's house. But it's cool because there's no way that he could have detected them since they had the lights off.
Huh.
No way that you could hear a V8 engine passing 10 feet away.
Sound the tires
Whisper
crunching on
silence
gravel.
of Wyoming. Quick fact, the graveyard scene was actually filmed at the Santa Monica airport.
What?
Around one of their hangars, they made a set as a soundstage.
You could tell
but
it was
at
a
the
set.
airport for some reason.
Yeah, you could tell that was a set, but at the airport, what the hell?
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I mean, it's a way to like build a big set in a big hangar. I don't know.
I guess. Interesting.
The reason this happened was because of cold, wet, and inclement weather around Wilcox, Arizona, which is where it was originally supposed to take place. And rather than film in miserable weather for the cast and the crew, director John Dahl decided to shoot it on a set. Might have helped with the performances, if they were actually in the real graveyard or in a real place that actually exists. I don't know.
Cold, miserable. I think that's what made the performances in Trapped in Paradise more realistic. Is they're in the elements.
Scallions. Really sold that line. In the spooky fog-filled graveyard, Wayne convinces Lyle to take off his cuffs while Michael digs up a grave and the Monster Mash plays in the background or something. I don't know. It's just the freaking fog rolling into the headstones that look like they've been there for fucking century.
Yeah. It was,
Couldn't tell it was a set.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Suzanne is taking her sweet ass time cutting the fucking cord around her wrists. Still hasn't even started at this point. I guess maybe she wanted to, make them think that she didn't have a way of cutting the cord.
Yeah.
The whole time in the car. But you could have, the whole drive, she could have been cutting that thing on. Lyle asks Wayne what they should do with Suzanne and Mike after they get the money, and Wayne says that they should let them go. But Lyle says he doesn't like loose ends. Make another Diddy joke here, but... But I guess that's showing a little bit of character development with Wayne of he doesn't want to kill her anymore. He doesn't want to kill Michael either. Just wants this whole thing to be over.
Yeah.
Michael unburies a toolbox wrapped in chains. It's very spooky. Very spooky. And when Wayne says he won't open it until Lyle gets rid of the gun, which prompts Lyle to ask why he doesn't just kill all of them and take the box. It's a fair point. Which, Wayne says that the caretaker who can't hear a V8 engine would hear the shot, which was good enough for him to put down his gun after that.
He's like, oh, but okay.
That would have been a pretty easy ending for him, is just shoot them all, drive away. Nobody knows what the description of the car is. He just walks away scot-free with $500,000. But so the movie can happen.
Yeah.
Lyle drops his gun, but not before popping the clip out as Mike watches on, while Wayne opens the box, which he smartly stashed a gun in. He pulls the gun on Lyle and tells him to get away from the car. Does this mean we're not partners anymore? Then Wayne heads to the car to bail with the money, leaving them all, including his estranged wife, I guess, behind. When Wayne finds that there are no keys in the car, again, Lyle says he has them, and after tossing them on the ground, Lyle pops a knife down from his arm sleeve like he's Travis Bickle or something and chucks it at Wayne's throat. Wayne falls on the ground as he fires a shot, which alerts old man caretaker and his wife to call the cops. Michael tackles Lyle to the ground, and Suzanne finally cuts her restraint free after 4 hours. Michael and Lyle fight for a bit while Suzanne takes the gun from her husband and knees him in the face. She also tries to leave everyone else high and dry herself, but she can't find the keys to the car. Wayne crawls away to the keys and tosses them as far as he can for a guy who's dying from a knife to the throat, while Michael re-injures his knee and gets some cool Ghost Rider chains around his neck. Thanks to Lyle.
I'm glad you thought the same thing I did.
Oh, man, it's homage to the future. Lyle tries to skewer Michael on a war memorial of some sort of a soldier with a bayonet, But Michael manages to swing Lyle into it first using some physics, some crafty physics.
Using his Ghost Rider powers.
Yeah, it's true. Or his Mandy powers, whichever.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
As Michael walks away from Lyle,
grabs Lyle by the head. I'm your god now.
that would have been awesome. Crushes his head. Spoilers for Mandy. As Michael walks away from Lyle dying on the war memorial, he turns around and says, "You know what? I am better than you." Just a couple little one-liners in there. Michael makes his way to the car, and Suzanne points the gun at him like the double-crossing bitch that she is. But when Lyle shows up behind Michael, she unloads the gun into him instead. We finally see the end of Dennis Hopper's raving lunatic character. Suddenly, they hear the sound of sirens in the distance just as a train passes nearby. Coincidences, man. Just those... so happens to be a train passing by right at that moment. He tells Suzanne that they should head for the train, but he just says, "Suzanne, train!" Why use lot words when few words do trick?
There's no time.
There's no time for words.
She grabs the money, but also spots Lyle's gun in the passenger seat, but she can't tell that it doesn't have bullets in it or a clip in it, I guess, which she stashes in her pants. Then she beats Wayne with the stack of money as he tries to grab her. Some symbolism there, like their whole relationship summed up. Beats him to death with the money.
Yeah.
Michael hobbles his way on his bad leg towards the train as the floppy-haired deputy arrives, and Wayne points to the train when he sees his former deputy. I guess he just wants them to get caught now. Anything to take Suzanne down, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Michael and Suzanne manage to get on the extremely slow-moving train into an empty boxcar. You ever notice how there's always a boxcar with nothing in it, with the doors wide open?
Wide open,
Doors
yeah.
wide open. Yeah. I see that every time I see a train pass by.
See, that could have just been another twist where there's a hobo in there.
I thought there was going to be, yeah.
It just stabs them both immediately.
Yeah.
What are you drinking on over there?
It's just the fucking guy from Joe.
I do get that
Bottle of scotch. Give me that bottle of scotch.
My wife, he's got the cancer. Have you ever seen that in real life? Like a boxcar driving by with fucking doors open, nothing in it?
No.
No.
Because now it's all shipping containers.
Yeah.
Or they're, oil or gas.
Yeah, they just load the
it is, and
container onto a
cylinders,
flatbed and then send
onto a
that.
flat,
Yeah. It doesn't seem very cost effective to have empty boxcars.
Yeah, boxcars are a thing of the past.
Yeah. Suzanne pulls Lyle's gun on Michael 2 seconds after getting on the train, and he says,
I guess this means you'll be going to Mexico by yourself, huh?
She tells him to jump out of the train, and he asks her if she shot the ranch hand, and she confirms his suspicions. Which, like, how did he become suspicious that she was the one who shot him?
Maybe just, I don't know.
I think it's
Like,
because
she's double crossing him right now.
Yeah, now she understands that she's not as innocent as she's portraying herself to be.
She tells him the ranch hand found out about her and Wayne stealing the $2 million and wanted to cut. Michael grabs the money as she threatens to shoot him, but he starts giggling to himself since he saw Lyle pop the clip out of the gun. Suzanne tries to shoot Michael. Wouldn't there be one in the chamber, though?
Yeah, that's where this falls apart. There's still, he never ejected the round from the chamber, so there's still be one in there.
So she would have killed him after all.
Yeah. He should just be thankful that Alec Baldwin was on the other end of that pistol.
Jesus
Christ.
Sorry.
Suzanne tries to shoot Michael, but of course there are no bullets. So he starts dumping the money out of the boxcar door. Since I guess that was, it's because that's the cause of this whole sticky situation in the first place. He's just sick of it. He's sick of money. It's ruined him. It's ruined his life. She begs him to stop, but he dumps the whole bag out. She calls him stupid son of a bitch, so he punts her dumb ass off the train.
Go get it.
Go get it, bitch. She stands up just as the deputy pulls up behind her, and Michael watches as the train very slowly rolls away. I mean, the cop probably saw him in the train.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get him in a minute. Let's just drive 60 miles an hour and stop the train.
I feel like that deputy is like, fuck this poor bastard. My thought was like, this guy got mixed up in this bullshit. I was like, the whole time he's in that pond because he doesn't know about the connection of him extorting the two for the money originally.
But now he does.
Yeah.
Michael slumps down in the boxcar, then notices a stack of money that got stuck in the door, which he puts in his pocket, saying, "Adios, Red Rock." So I guess that money was fine to keep, but not the rest of it. He was owed that somehow.
Yeah, that was the original 5,000 he should have just taken.
Yeah.
Avoided this whole thing.
Yeah, he should have just taken that 5,000, left, and gotten himself a whole bunch of wheat thins and whatever.
Just, you can buy tons of loaves of bread with that.
Yeah. Dawn breaks, and we watch the train slowly drive away as the credits roll to the sweet sounds of Dwight Yoakam. And since this is a movie, we can assume he lives happily ever after rather than be caught hours later, since the cops already have all of his information, know exactly what train he's on, and presumably Suzanne told them that he was responsible for killing Lyle and Wayne. But
yeah,
that doesn't
holding
happen.
her hostage or whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure she's going to pin the whole damn thing on him.
Oh, yeah.
Quick fact. The final scene where Michael finally leaves Red Rock on a freight train was shot in Montana months after production ended because director John Dahl couldn't get the right shot for the film to end the way that he wanted in Arizona. And this was always his intention of how he wanted the film to end. I don't think we see Cage in that final shot, right?
It's just a shot of the train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they just went and filmed some random freight train heading towards the mountains.
It's like at the end of Arsenal. Gotta wait for a train to come by while they were doing baseball.
Dude, film it real quick.
Get out there.
Strap it to a monkey.
Whose iguanas are these?